So, the NBA regular season is slowly coming to an end. We have a handful of games left and a ton of shuffling to do with seedings, but as of now, there is a good thought on which teams will be making the NBA playoffs. Playoff time is undoubtedly the best time of the NBA year. High intense basketball with so much at stake, making a deep run will do so much good for a lot of teams and a lot of players. Many think the NBA playoffs are a two-man race this year, and rightfully so. The Boston Celtics and Denver Nuggets have been a tier above the rest for the entire season. For the Denver Nuggets, however, their run may be a bit tougher. See, the Western Conference has a ton of talented teams. Maybe none better than the Nuggets, but ones that will put up a great fight. And honestly, who knows? A good fight and some luck, and a lot can happen with that. Speaking more on the Western Conference, there seems to be a lot more parity on that side. For a lot of the top teams, they're gonna have some real trouble making it out of the first round, with the heavy dose of talent amongst the teams seeded 5 through 10. There's the Lakers, who made the conference finals last year and now see themselves as a play-in team. They're streaking at the right time, and LeBron James is healthy and is looking as good as he's always been. The Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, two of the deadliest scorers in the league. The Warriors, though they've struggled this year, still have the best point guard in the game. The Kings are a tough team as well, despite their struggles. There is another team that I have yet to mention. A team with gritty, hard-nosed players that you need to play playoff basketball. Oh, and they have a freak athlete, #1 overall pick, that is finally healthy this season. The team I'm talking about is the New Orleans Pelicans.
Najee at the buzzer, little count of it goes. Yes! Why not?
Up against Brooks, goes away from the pick.
Weaves his way to the cup.
Nice bounce.
What a hammer!
Baby!
He'll give him a second chance though, and a wide open look.
Oh my goodness gracious! Ladies and gentlemen, Herbert Keyshawn.
The New Orleans Pelicans may just be the scariest team to face in the playoffs. With their untapped potential, hard-nosed defense, and star power, they can go up against anyone. Their dynamic duo has led the way for them this season, that 1-2 punch being Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. Zion is finally healthy this season, and even though he started a bit slow, he's starting to gain traction at the right time. He's having his best playmaking season to date. You add to that his ability to get to the rim at will and the improvements that he's made on the defensive end, and he's looking like a man ready to dominate come playoff time. And then of course you have Brandon Ingram, the engine to this team's offense. It's very clear how much he means to this team, and their struggles without him are not a coincidence. He'll be back soon in time for the playoffs, and the hope is that he can pick up right where he left off. The 6'9" wing has incredible playmaking abilities. He has an unguardable mid-range and is one of the game's clutchest players. The last time we saw Ingram in the playoffs, he almost single-handedly beat the 1-seeded Phoenix Suns, so I cannot wait to see what he does this time around. Now, some might say this team has a big three, and that of course would include CJ McCollum. CJ is not new to playoff intensity, having many runs of his own. The lead guard for this team has done a lot of good this season, and his veteran presence will help best when the game slows down. Now, also in the playoffs, the depth chart becomes a lot smaller, but the Pelicans have a great assortment of pieces in guys like Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, as well as spot minutes available for Najee Marshall, Jose Alvarado, and Larry Nance Jr. Herb will be the most important factor. He's a surefire All-NBA defender who has turned into a knockdown shooter this year. They will need his services for the overabundance of perimeter talent in the West. But of course, you have to take the good with the bad. As good as this team may seem, there are some glaring issues. Their coach Willie Green isn't the most dazzling coach, and at times he can make some really bad decisions. Jonas Valanciunas at this point in his career probably is best as a backup big, but unfortunately for the Pelicans, he is the best big on that team. There's also some questions surrounding Trey Murphy, who hasn't really taken the leap that a lot of people expected him to. But then again, this team has been able to overcome all of that. Despite what their record says, they are one of the best defensive teams in the league, one of the highest scoring teams in the league, and one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league. The talent on this team is there. Nobody can question that. The real question is, can they put it all together just in time to make a deep playoff run? And of course, the best way to know that is to get there. The Pelicans may end up as a play-in team, so they'll have to handle business, which I'm confident that they will. But if one thing's for sure, no one really wants to see this team at full strength in the playoffs. And if things fall in their favor, I'm confident that they can make a big run this postseason.